Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Detroit's chief says the city is on the right path, but more needs to be done.
I participated in a lot of these briefings on crime. Never prouder than today.
Year-end stats show violent crime dropping in the city.
Chief James White says multiple factors, including a nationwide trend in declines of violent crime, led to a significant drop here in Detroit.
And he also says the numbers speak for themselves. Homicides for the year down 18%, to the fewest that we've seen in the city since 1966. Victor Williams live on this story tonight to go through some of these numbers. Victor.
Oh yeah, Devin and Kimberly, the numbers are in, and just like you guys have said, crime is down, exactly what the mayor and other city leaders set out to do.
This group here is creating what I believe is going to be long-term change in the safety of this city.
Looks like the city of Detroit is heading in the right direction, with major crime being down in nearly every statistic.
18% reduction in homicides, which is the most significant for us. The trauma that losing a loved one brings to a family.
Mayor Duggan recalling the efforts last year around this time when the goal was to simply lower the numbers. Now it has the lowest number of homicides since 1966 and the fewest number of carjackings since they started keeping record.
Everybody up here said we're going to reduce the gun violence. That was our goal. And if you look at the statistics, you can see how that strategy worked.
Homicides are down 18% from 309 to 252. Non-fatal shootings are down 15.8% from 955 to 804. Over 1,250 illegal weapons have also been taken off the streets. Today we heard from the police chief, the mayor, the Wayne County sheriff, and even the U.S. attorney, Don Eisen, on the work that's being done. Chief White says it's not a victory celebration, but more of a doubling down on the work that needs to be done.
We've had some significant success, but the work is not over. It's not done. We got a lot more work to do.
And for the residents in the city, there couldn't be any better news.
I think it's wonderful. I've seen it here. I've seen just how well they're protecting this area.
I think that's great because a lot of people are moving out of the city because of the crime. So I feel like now that the crime levels are low, people are starting to move back. We're starting to get all these nice things happen.
And even still more, cops are being hired. It's going to be an additional 125 that's going to be on the force to make sure those numbers keep on heading in the right direction. Victor Williams, Local 4.
We will hope so. All right, Victor. A fatal Warren police car chase last week has a mother wondering what happened and talking with lawyers about suing the department.
And Warren police saying tonight it was a legitimate stop, and they say the driver was the problem. They rolled out this dash cam video this afternoon, which they say shows proof. Rod Maloney, live in Warren tonight with a first look at that video. Rod.
Yeah, we're at the PD here, and the mother of this young man who died in that crash, reached out to Local 4 saying that she felt that the Warren PD killed her son, that they mischaracterized precisely what happened, that he didn't have a gun, and so this was Warren PD's response. Day after Christmas, a red Chevy Cruze goes by a Warren Scout car at Van Dyke and Stevens. Officers check the license plate and pull the vehicle over. 24-year-old Maurice Octavius Kelly, who'd previously served prison time for theft and felony firearms, behind the wheel.
So the reason I stopped is because the plate's expired. Yeah.
I'm just coming from work.
Oh, yeah? Is this your car?
No, it's my girlfriend's car. I live down the street.
Kelly's license had been suspended. He also had a misdemeanor traffic arrest warrant. So the officer asks,
what I got to have you do is just hop off on me real quick, man, just because you don't have your license on you, okay? Nope.
And the chase is on. It goes for several minutes. Kelly driving on the grass, dodging other Warren police cars assisting. Kelly drives on the sidewalk and back on the grass in front of an apartment complex before screaming down Warren streets, thankfully empty of regular daytime traffic. The video shows the Cruze running a red light and then slamming into a Penske rental box truck.
1050 into a box truck. He's underneath the box truck.
Now, Kelly's mother had told Local 4 in an email that Warren PD used a pit maneuver to push his vehicle into the truck. The video shows that that is not the case. She also claimed he didn't have a gun. Warren PD showed this Glock they say was found in the vehicle. Today, Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer saying,
it's a very unfortunate incident. This subject is dead due to the choice he made to flee from the officers.
Now, just a little while ago, we received an email from the Kelly family attorney, and they say that, actually the email says that the grieving family is trying to collect information to find out how this horrible situation occurred. They ask police agencies revisit their high-speed chase policies because of the inherent dangers involved. Back to you.
Rod, what did the commissioner have to say? Did he respond to the family's concerns?
Well, yes, he said that he believes that his officers acted properly, that they followed the police department's policy, and he believes it was a good and legitimate stop.
Okay. All right, Rod, keep us posted. Thank you.
The state capitol in Lansing and other capitals across the country forced to evacuate and close today after a string of threats. The action taken as a precaution coming as bomb threats were sent into capitals in Connecticut, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Montana. In Lansing, the building was immediately searched by state police, but the building ended up being closed for the rest of the day.
Two former staffers for former State House Speaker Lee Chatfield are pleading not guilty to embezzlement charges. Ann and Rob Menard are accused of misusing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Jacqueline Francis is live. Jacqueline, this was a relatively quick hearing in court.
Most arraignments are quick and to the point. This was no exception as the judge read the many serious charges against them.
Did knowingly conduct or participate in the affairs of the enterprise.
In court today, Annie and Rob Menard were formally charged after being accused of running a criminal enterprise by Michigan's Attorney General. The married couple both served as senior advisors to ex-Michigan House Speaker Lee Chatfield. The Menards' attorneys entered not guilty pleas on their behalf to the 12 felonies they are now facing.
Ms. Menard has no prior criminal record. Certainly she's appeared here today.
The Menards are back home tonight after being released on bond. Last month, Attorney General Dana Nessel announced the charges against them, accusing the couple of financially defrauding political fundraising accounts and allegedly pocketing $525,000.
The charges are serious, I recognize that, but I do want the court to know that the nonprofits at issue do not involve money spent for the needy or the poor, so she is not alleged or charged with taking money from the poor. These were political funds, to the best of my knowledge.
The investigation into their former boss, Lee Chatfield, is ongoing. The Menards are due back in court later this month on January 19th. Reporting live, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you.
Let's take a look at live pictures of Ford Field. Lions going to wrap up the regular season Sunday at 1 p.m. against the Vikings.
Team still has something to play for, even after locking up the division title. Bernie's here with us now. Coach Campbell's been pretty fired up since Saturday. What do you have to say today?
Well, you know, the one thing about Dan Campbell is he lives in a fired-up atmosphere, so you've got to kind of temper everything. Today, he spoke to the media. He did not say a single word about the debacle in Dallas, which means he's listening to his own advice and moving ahead. We've got highlights of the Lions practicing today in Allen Park, favored by 3 over the Vikings. Lions currently locked in that third playoff spot, but that could change depending on what happens with the Eagles and Cowboys. The Vikings got smoked last Sunday night in Minnesota. Campbell says they'll try to take their anger out on the Lions.
We got to go finish out strong. You know, we need to go out and play good football, good, clean, solid, competitive football against an opponent that is going to give us everything they've got. And look, they're prideful. They don't like what happened the other night. I know what that is, and so they're going to come back with everything they've got at our place. So you know, we got to be ready to go.
Yeah, that's for sure. They got ripped by the Packers the other night in Minnesota. Now, as you know, the Lions are a huge story, but there's another team playing for a national championship. Jim Harbaugh spoke today, and several players. You'll hear from them coming up in sports.
What a time for football fans around
so
here.
Exciting.
How dry have we been for all these decades, and then all of a sudden, thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right, Bernie. Yep. Let's turn our attention to the weather. Live look from our Mount Clemens sky cam. We've seen, actually, I was driving in from a story today, and sleet, a little bit of freezing rain, some snow.
Yeah, no sun, though. It feels like we haven't seen that in weeks. Let's get over to Kim Adams in your forecast. Hi, Kim.
Pretty much the only thing missing right now, Kim, is that sunshine. We might get a little tomorrow, and then it's back to more clouds by the weekend and some snow showers. Right now, we're tracking a few areas of light snow, but it's coming down where you really can't tell what it is because once it hits your windshield, it just kind of melts away. We are watching road temperatures, and so far they're above freezing in the city of Detroit, but you go to the surrounding areas and they're just about at that freezing point. So if you're traveling tonight, just know that especially bridges and overpasses, places that have not been treated or that have airflow underneath, there could be a few slippery spots now that the sun is just setting. 25 degrees at 8 a.m. tomorrow, 30 by noon. I hate to even promise it because we've been promising you that sunshine. We should see more sunshine than we've seen in several days tomorrow, but it is going to be cold with a high of only 32 degrees. Then it looks like we do warm up for the weekend. We'll have just slightly below normal temperatures tomorrow. By Friday, we're in the mid-30s. Weekend looks warm with temps in the mid to upper 30s, but we also have a chance for some snow showers. We'll talk about that in the forecast.
All right, Kim.